It's playoff time in Oklahoma City, and InsideThunder.com presents the Thunder Game Report, powered by Wheeler Whitlock Insurance Agency, giving you the best value for your insurance dollar.
Hi, I'm Randy Renner for InsideThunder.com at Chesapeake Energy Arena. The Thunder have closed out the Memphis Grizzlies, winning it tonight 120-109. They led by as many as 22. The offense was outstanding tonight. Thunder shooting 61% and almost 60% from three tonight. They had huge games from Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. They combined for 60 points tonight. KD was 5 for 5 from deep. Russell Westbrook had a triple-double tonight and tied his career high with 16 assists. And Westbrook now becomes just the second player in NBA history to have a triple-double in 2 Game 7s. Rajon Rondo did that twice in 2012. Of course, Westbrook, the first time he had a triple-double was against these Memphis Grizzlies back in 2011 in the Game 7 that those teams played. Thunder won that one also. So they will advance now into the Western Conference semifinals. It was a happy podium tonight. Scott Brooks, and also from the Thunder, Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant. We also heard from Dave Joerger, had a lot of complimentary things to say about the Thunder and Oklahoma City. And then Mark Gasol and Mike Conley also spoke for the Grizzlies.
Well, first, I just want to start off by just acknowledging Memphis Grizzlies. I thought Coach Joerger and his staff did a great job preparing them. I know they were down a man, but they fought. They had that next man mentality, step up, and we knew going into this series it was going to be a heck of a series. Just like I said before the game, this team has played some of the best basketball since Gasol has been back. But give our guys credit. Going into this game, we knew that they were going to be down a man. They were going to play with some different lineups. We were prepared to play against whatever they were throwing at us, and I thought our guys did a good job. Serge did a good job on Allen in that first quarter. Unfortunately, we gave them a lot of opportunities in transition with our turnovers. I think we had 9 turnovers in that first quarter. But in that third quarter, they came back out with that lineup, and I thought we did a good job. But now it's on to the next series. Our staff has been focusing on Golden State and Los Angeles Clippers. Looking forward to watching the game tonight and then preparing for whoever we play.
Coach, Michael Kenny, Norman transcript. You kept saying throughout the series that the shots at some point were going to fall. Just what is it about Game 7 that you believe that your team seems to be able to rise to that occasion and get those shots to finally go down?
Well, one, Russell loves Game 7s. Yeah, that's last time we had a Game 7, I think he had a triple-double against this team. We do things every day, and we work on our game every day. And some days your shots are not going to fall. I've said this many times in this series. 4 overtime games. That's been a heck of a series. Looking back at it, that makes me most proud of this series is we didn't shoot the ball well, but we didn't put our head down and stop defending. We were giving ourselves a chance by keeping them in the low 40s and putting it into overtime without shooting. We were shooting in the 30s. And our 2 best players did not shoot the ball well, but knowing how they prepare, how they work, and how we work as a group, it was going to turn sooner or later.
Nick Alithunder at Media.com. Coach, you looked like Russ was really directing traffic out there, picking out shots for his guys. What did you see from him as a floor general tonight? Well,
his defensive tenacity was the start of it. We wanted to defend tonight, and his athleticism and his power on the defensive end helps. He was pursuing. He got a couple. He had the block. I think he even might have had. I think he had the one block from behind. But his rebounding impacts us. But he's one of the best at his position, and he creates a lot of opportunities for us and himself. And I thought he had a great balance tonight.
Barry Tram with the Oklahoma, and Scotty, playing Memphis is always a difficult assignment just because the way they play and they wear you out. And apart from just advancing, is it just good to get them in the rearview mirror and you don't have to mess with them anymore?
Well, we knew going into the series that by the seeding they were 7th, but they were as good as any team in the West. They have 2 big-time players down low, and they have a really, really good point guard, an all-star level point guard. And they grind you out. They pound the ball, and they just keep coming at you with their physicality. But I give our guys credit. They stepped up and matched it. We have multiple players that can battle with them. And I thought Stephen gave us some good play the last couple of games. Nick didn't play tonight, but he's done his part during this series, and that's what makes our team a good team. The coach, we have guys that will sacrifice for one another, and like Tabo and Nick did not play tonight, but they were a big part of the series, and they're going to be a big part of the next series.
Darnell Mayberry, Oklahoma. Scott, what was the difference between in Kevin's offense, game 6 and 7?
What was the difference between 6 and 7?
No, in Kevin's offense in games 6 and 7.
What's the difference?
5 compared to the last 2.
From games 2 through 5.
Oh, okay. I thought you said
6 to
6 and
7.
They were pretty close to 6 and 7. Making shots. Kevin, I mean, it's you go through some stretches, and every season you're not going to make shots, but he was defending, he was rebounding, and sooner or later he's one of the best players on the planet. He's going to continue to help us win games and move us forward, not only for his shot making but his play making. He's an assist guy, he's a rebounder. Just having him on the floor helps us score. Tony Allen's a great defender. That's nothing to everybody knows that. And going into the series, we knew that we wanted to make sure we free him, get him off of them. And I thought Kevin, as the series went along, he did a better job of his setups and got better opportunities for himself.
Scott, David Garrett, 107.7 The Franchise. Did you learn or discover something about your team in this series you didn't already know?
Well, I know that they're going to keep fighting. I know that we have a resilient group that loves to compete. We don't like to lose. We always try to figure out ways to get better. We're not mistake-free, but our effort is right on. And I love coaching this team because of that. I like guys that compete. I don't want to be around, and we don't have guys that don't compete. Sam has brought in 15 competitors, and that's what happens. Our days off are not days off. Guys come in the gym, get work in.
Scott, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. In the first quarter, Russ had 4 turnovers. The rest of the game, only 3. Dave brought up the point that he was aggressive without being out of control. Did something flip with him between those early minutes and the rest of the game?
Well, I think the 4, I thought 2 of them were his, and then 2 of them were we weren't in the right space, and the court was shrinking while he was attacking, and we want a space when he's attacking. And I thought we did a better job in that second half. We talked about that during a couple of our timeouts, and you just have to continue to talk about those things. It's a thing that we talk about with our guys. Space the floor, set good screens, and we can attack and create difficult situations for our opponent because they have to make tough decisions. And I thought Russell was fantastic throughout the game, and he's been a great leader for a lot of years, and he stepped up once again tonight.
Scott, Brent Weber, KOSU.
Brent.
Looking forward, I guess this isn't one of those where somebody's been sitting at home for a week. At least both teams will not have a lot of time to get ready, good or bad.
Well, both staffs, I'm assuming, I just know what we're doing. We've been preparing for both teams, and we still have to prepare for both teams going into tonight. And then once we know who we're playing, and we'll get it done, and we'll meet with our group tomorrow at 2 and go over our game plan and get ready for them Monday night. We will be ready. We're looking forward to the next round. Just like the first round, it's the first of 4.
Kevin Kosminski, News9.com. Coach, you guys, the last 2 games, it seems like the energy level seemed different, but it almost was like an anger. It was like a ferocity that the team played with. Second half, they just weren't letting up at all. What have you noticed? Is there anything changed? The demeanor changed at all? I mean, does it seem like they've sort of found their rhythm again? It's a long season. You talk all the time about that. Sort of they found that rhythm?
Well, I think it's simple that when you play against a physical team, you have to stay with what you do. And they like to take a lot of shots late in the shot clock. We wanted to play with a bit of more pace. We weren't making shots while we were playing with pace, so it didn't look good at times. But we were still competing on the defensive end. it shifted when we started making some shots. The pace didn't look as bad. At times we were frantic, out of character, and out of making bad decisions. But when you make the shots, and we did that the last 2 games, the defense was there also. And, I thought our defense to start the game was really good, other than that we had the 9 turnovers led to, I think, 11 fast break points.
Last question from Scott, John Hoover, the Tulsa World. You got a couple of elite performances, obviously, from Russ and Kevin after they had gone through some ups and downs. But you also had, back-to-the-wall performance by Reggie when those guys were down. You had a win when you made massive changes to the lineup. Seemed like you guys won a lot of different ways. You won 4 games a lot of different ways in this series.
I think that's what NBA playoffs are about. Everybody has to step up. You're not going to have the same blueprint every night. You're not going to have the same shots every night. I'm not going to have the same decisions every night. But I like the fact that everybody has to sacrifice. I thought Nick and Tabo, like I said earlier, they've sacrificed. Nick hasn't played tonight. Tabo didn't play the last 2 games, but they were preparing themselves to help us whenever we would have needed them, and they were always engaged. But Reggie's done a good job. Fish has stepped up. They've all stepped up. Serge has had good minutes. Perk has played very well. He's had a lot of good moments for us.
Russell, Michael Kennedy, Norman transcript. Russ, Coach said that you love Game 7s. Just why is that?
I don't want to go home. You fought too hard to get to this point. I mean, we were down, lost home court, went there and won a game, and we fought too hard to put ourselves in position to come back home in front of our fans and let them down.
Anthony Slater with Oklahoma. Kevin, you combined to go 7 of 7 from 3 after struggling from deep early in the series. Did you feel like one of these games was coming?
Yeah. I mean, the games before, we shot a lot of walk-up threes, deep ones. But I think Russell set everybody up tonight, and I was able to hit some. I think all threes I hit were wide open, and he set me up on all of them, and just try to stay disciplined with my shot and stay confident. And because it's going to come around. So I think everybody did a great job of just getting everybody open, moving their bodies, moving the basketball, and we found a good shot.
Kevin, Zach McCright, 107.7 The Franchise in Oklahoma City. Was there a difference that you could tell in your own game when your team faced elimination, Game 6 and Game 7, compared to the rest of your series?
Yeah, I got out my own way. I was thinking too much. I was worried about what you guys were saying. I was worried about, what shots I was going to shoot throughout the game. I was just thinking too much. And the game of basketball is played off of instincts. And I realized that I started playing this game to have fun. And I didn't want to take the pure fun out of the game by just thinking too much. So I just released everything and enjoyed it. And I know if I, play as hard as I could and put the work in for my team, the results were going to show. But, I just forgot everything and just played my game.
Barry Tram with the Oklahoman. For both you guys, Memphis is a meat grinder of a team to have to play 7 games over 2 weeks. In some ways, is this good whatever you face in the future, is it good preparation to going forward to play a team that just challenges you in every way?
Well, I mean, you got to give credit. Memphis is a unbelievable ball club. Well coached, did a great job of mixing things up, making it tough for myself and Kevin. And we're going to be ready, recover tonight, and get our minds ready for the next series.
Britt McHenry, ESPN. Kevin, you said you were able to get out of your own way. You were worried about what we were saying. Coincidentally, that huge shift happened when all of that ramped up. How did you tune that out for these last 2 games the way that you did?
Well, I didn't do it on my own. I had so many people that were there supporting me that always gave me words of encouragement every single day after tough games. And you guys motivated me a little bit, even though I told you didn't. I just wanted to, I really looked at all my guys in their eyes and didn't want to let them down. I know they didn't think of it that way, but I didn't want to let them down, and I just wanted to play as hard as I could, no matter what. If I was 0 for 20 or 20 for 20, I just wanted to play extremely hard for my team and gut it out. Our backs were against the wall, but we showed a lot of character as a team, and I just wanted to be a big part of it, and we're moving on. So it's good to enjoy this one tonight, but tomorrow we got to get focused.
Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. For both of you guys, can you just talk about Russ's impact tonight? Dave Joerger said it was aggressive without being out of control. And Kevin, can you talk to what his play meant? And Russ, can you talk about just how you felt out the game tonight?
Just trying to find a balance of getting my teammates involved and also staying aggressive. I mean, that's a tough thing to do at my position, and my teammates done a great job of spacing out, making shots, making it easy for me to see where my reads were, and being able to get them shots.
Well, I think that he just played aggressive all night. I got on him a few times for passing up shots, but I think he pick and choose his spots very well tonight. He's getting everybody involved, rebounding the basketball. But when we needed baskets, he was aggressive enough to get to the rim and to make his pull-up jump shot. And, he just played a full game tonight and, a few turnovers here and there, but he was aggressive to make the right play. But, he was great tonight. His enthusiasm and leadership was on another level, and it was good to see. It's great for Game 7.
Anthony Slater with Oklahoma. Russell, 4 3-point attempts the last 2 games after 38 the first 5. Was it a concerted effort to kind of play differently these last 2 games?
Definitely, man. I was shooting too many, like Kevin said, we were shooting too many walk-up threes, off the screen, and that's what they wanted. And, I just, looked at film and seeing where I can find open ones, and when Kevin drive, those are the ones I would take. And, I'll just stay attacking the basket and try to get my teammates involved.
Darnell Mayberry, the Oklahoma. Kevin, you talked about not thinking as much and going back and having fun, but what does getting out your own way look like on the court?
Just playing free. I'm calm and playing with that peace. Just moving on from play to play, not, dwelling so long on the previous plays. And, this game is more than half mental. It's probably 60 or 70% mental. Because we got the physical part down, but, I was thinking too much and worried about different things on the court and how I can score and where my shots are going to come from rather than just playing hard and letting the game come to me and keeping it simple. And, I learned a valuable lesson in this series. It was great for me. It was nerve-wracking, but it was fun to be a part of.
Do you feel like this can carry over? I mean, you got a quick turnaround. Do you feel like this can carry over in the second round?
I hope so. I don't always going to put the work in. I'm just going to always rely on my teammates and my coaches to help me get better and just play my game. And whatever happens, it happens. And I know I'm going to put the work in and prepare the right way. And, so hopefully we see some good results.
Kevin Kosminski, News9.com. You guys talked a little bit about having fun again. It seemed like when you guys got rolling, shooting, it's a contagious thing. Everybody starts hitting shots. And, Scott was in here talking about it. It's really not – it's pretty simple. Shots started going in and we look better. Is the team sort of confidence risen now as a unit and saying now we're back, now we got rolling again?
I think, with Russell and myself being leaders, they feed off of our energy. And I think, last 2 games we start the game off, we set the tone on the defensive end, being physical, getting into the ball, rebounding, and our teammates followed. And then on the offensive end, we just trusted each other, and the shots started to fall. We realized if we pass the ball and trust each other even more, those shots we were missing early on were going to start to fall. So we got a long ways to go. We got to keep getting better in those areas and stay conscious of, playing with that sense of urgency to start the game. But as leaders, we have to be consistent with that every single night.
Nick Gallathon at Thunder.com. They changed their lineup late, kind of switched up their style from what they were playing. How did you guys kind of get past that to make those big pushes in the second quarter and the third quarter?
No, just playing our game. Coach told us, regardless of who they put on the floor, we got to come out and play Thunder basketball. And I thought, everybody did a great job of coming in and doing their role and knocking shots down.
Myron Fox in Oklahoma City. You guys had some turnovers in the first quarter, but you trimmed those down the remaining 3. Was there some nervous energy coming out in the Game 7, you think? Trying to get it down early?
Well, nervous. I mean, just, trying to make the right play, but too early. Those are all my fault, just trying to, find my teammates, but, just a little too early. In the second half, I slowed down just a little bit, and I was able to get it to him.
Yeah, Barry Trim with the Oklahoma. Kevin, you two went 22 of 34 combined from the field. How difficult are you to beat when you guys play at that kind of level at the same time on the same night?
Well, we just when we shooting the shots, we want to shoot and get into our spots. We practice that day in and day out all year long, and we trust in it. So once we get to our spots, we feel confident that we can knock them down, and then both of us being playmakers, we can get our teammates involved as well. So just cutting hard and making playing with a lot of force on the offensive end allows us to knock those shots down. So we can't come out and play too nonchalant and think that you're gonna make those shots. So we got to continue to play with that force and that speed, and it's gonna open it up for everybody.
Congratulations to Oklahoma City. Played a good series. They had great performances tonight, and as they did throughout the series. They made a lot of shots. My hat's off to them. They've got the guys that can really score the basketball. They're well coached, and tonight, Russ and Kevin Durant were just absolutely fantastic. And once they got it flowing, they shoot 11 for 19 from three. It seemed like we made them, take some tough shots, and they made some tough shots. So it's hard to go on the road. I'm really, really proud of our team. Not about just Game 7 or the series, but as far as the season goes, for the things that we've overcome to come in on the West and to win 50 games, starting back in December when we were 10 and 15, and then we're 15 and 19, and we just kept coming and coming and coming. I didn't think tonight was any different. We kept coming and coming, and we played till the final horn. And I couldn't be prouder of our ball club. I wish Oklahoma City the best of luck going forward. Questions?
Coach, right here, Zach McCright, 107.7 The Franchise in Oklahoma City. Can you explain exactly how much the loss of Zach Randolph affected you tonight, and if there was a direct correlation between Games 6 and 7, the two losses, that something Oklahoma City did or something you didn't that caused you to lose both of those games?
Durant made a lot of shots. He came out and gets 14 points in Game 6 in the first quarter, gets rolling. Obviously, not having Zach affects our team. We don't play the way that we played tonight. We don't play that style, but we thought that gave us the best chance to win. And so, I don't think the two games are very similar at all, except that, Durant made a bunch of threes. He was 5 for 5. He's struggled from the three-point line a little bit, but he really got going, which I think he did Game 7. The last time we played them too, I think he was like 5 for 7 or 6 for 8. So, once he catches in transition, he gets a couple free ones. He starts flowing pretty well, and he made some tough shots. But he was aggressive.
Coach, Michael Kenny, Norman transcript. Can you just talk a little bit about the defense the Thunder put out there, especially after you were able to make a run and take the lead? What did they do in the second quarter to be able to get back in front of you?
They scored a bunch in the second quarter. I thought they made a lot of shots.
Anthony Slater with Oklahoma. When they hit threes like that, 11 and 19, like you mentioned, Durant 5 5, are they indefensible when they?
Well, there's a reason they're. Like yeah, I mean they're one of the elite teams in the league, so they've got great talent and they like playing. Durant came over one time and he's like, "This is fun. It is fun. It's good high level competition, and they've got great talent. And we played our tails off, and we just didn't have enough."
Hey, Dave, Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoma. And you've spoke very highly of Russell throughout this series, but these last two games, he seemed to really control the game offensively for them. Did you see something change in him, just the way he really controlled these last two games?
I have no idea why he takes the flack that he takes. This man can play. He's one of the most talented people in the league. It's unfathomable. How about that one? Unfathomable. That he takes. I don't understand. He was aggressive. Without being out of control, and so he was able to find some guys on the perimeter, hit him in the hands, and guys felt comfortable shooting those shots and made shots, and I thought he did a nice job. The thing he doesn't get enough credit for is he's a heck of a defender, and he can get guys in boxes that are a little smaller than he is, as good of an athlete as he is, and he really starts their defense for him when with his pressure.
Coach Brent Weber, KOSU, Oklahoma City. Some would say, well, there's the blueprint. Memphis, again, shows how to play Oklahoma City, but the guys you have buy in to make that work. Why can't other teams follow what Memphis does?
Well, we're built a little differently, too. We play offensively, we play slow because of our bigs, and that's the first part of setting up your defense is trying to get a shot that you're getting from where you get it on the floor. But we also have some unbelievable – to watch Tony Allen –
we should talk about it before the series, but if you just watched him and Durant and how they tussle and how he never gets screened, there's a beauty to that in a certain way, and he does it as well as anybody. He played at such a high level. Some of those guys like that, Marc Gasol, kind of directing traffic for us and telling everybody where everything is at, and I'm really proud of our guys.
Martin Patton Fox in Oklahoma City. Could you explain, just kind of talk about how Caron Butler going to the starting lineup, how that changed things for you? I know you didn't shoot well tonight, but did that change how you had to defend the Thunder?
No, didn't change one thing. Durant comes out and scores 14 in Game 6 in the first quarter, and everybody wants to talk about it being changing the starting lineup. That I thought it had zero to do with anything. What it had to do with was Kevin Durant was aggressive and just said, you know what, I've had enough.
Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman. When Russell and Kevin play like this, especially the high percentage of shots, when you need one of them to be off, if they go 22 or 34, whatever it was, it seems like Oklahoma City's very tough to beat. Is that true?
Yeah, no question. And when you're the opposing team's coach and you're looking at the shooting percentages that these two guys are putting up, but you know it's coming. And the last two games they've really made shots, and they've made big shots, and they also made shots when maybe we had a chance. When we were kind of making a run, they answered back really well. Getting to the foul line is a big deal for them. He got 15 of them the other night, and that was really. That helps his game a lot, and it helps their game a lot. Certainly it sets their defense up going back the other way.
Coach, without Randolph, you started small with Mike Miller, and then in the second half it seemed like you kind of went half big with John Lure. What was the thinking of not sticking with the small ball lineup and then just kind of going halfway with it? That
is a small ball lineup for us. We consider John Lure a 3.5. So he was essentially our stretch guy. So we didn't, I don't think outside of that, we didn't play another big together with Marc Gasol.
Dave, you've now finished your first year as head coach in the NBA. How are you going to remember this particular group?
That's a great question. We stuck together. That's what I'll remember. The camaraderie, the moment in Houston where we lost. I think James Harden shot 25 free throws that game. We were down. We're disappointed, and the moment that in the locker room that night was, if we play this hard, we're going to get back in this race. And that's probably the moment that I'll remember. We lost a close game. It's just it doesn't matter about the game, but that's kind of the moment where things turned for us, and we just kept marching forward and believing in each other. And for us, it's a team deal. It really is. If we're going to be successful at a high level, everybody's got to play well and together. And I think what we've done after January 1st, those guys should be very proud. They have nothing to hang their heads about, and I'm really proud of them.
Did Marc Gasol get worn down in the second half? I think he was 6-11 the first half. He was up 7 of 20.
Yeah.
David Garrett, 107.7 The Franchise. Would you talk about Mike Conley and his guts and playing the way he did in the game tonight?
Absolutely. He decided he was going to play no matter what after the game, Game 6, and he just said, there is no tomorrow. I don't care. I'll get it right. Whatever I have to do to play. And he's been so good for us. He's put us on his shoulders in tough stretches during the season, and he wants to be a system guy and a setup guy and running everything, and he stepped up out of his comfort zone and became our leading scorer this year for a large part of the season. I think maybe Zach got him at the end of the year, but for him to do that, knowing that that's what the team needed because Marc Gasol was out, because Tony Allen was out, that helped us get to 50 wins, helped us get in the playoffs. So he's had a tremendous season. I think that he still has room left in his game to grow, and I'm looking forward to hoping that he can get there. Love coming here. You guys treat us so well. It's a first-class organization. Everybody here treats us so great. So best of luck to you guys, and appreciate you. That's what they say in the South. Appreciate you.
Hey, Mike. Jenny Carlson with the Oklahoman. Russell started out some turnovers, but really seemed to get his game under control. What sort of impact did that have, you feel like, on them and then ultimately on you guys?
Well, I thought it had a huge impact on the way they played there down that stretch where they were able to come back and gain and sustain a big lead there. When we had him turn the ball over and he was not playing so well, we were able to get up. And once he starts to control the pace and make plays and score the ball, dish the ball, rebound, they're a tough team to stop.
Yeah, Mike, John Hoover, the Tulsa World. Watching you walk off the court Thursday, I said there's no way he's going to play Game 7. How did you get back so quick with a hamstring, which is always tricky? And what was it like out there for you? How tough was it for you?
Well, we have great trainers, man. You know, they were on me, you know, for 48 hours straight, doing treatment and trying to get it back to a level where I could just jog and run. So I knew if I could jog, I could play. So it was tough, but you know, it's what needed to be done. You know, we had just last game of the season coming in possibly, so we had to go out there, you know, guns blazing, no matter who's hurt, and play as hard as we could.
David Garrett, 107.7 The Franchise. Mark, would you talk about your turnaround this season from January on and the job that your head coach did in his first season, a full season coaching you?
What was the first question again?
The turnaround in January, and then the finish that you had to get to this position, and then the coaching job Dave Joerger did.
Well, we did what we were supposed to do. I mean, I wasn't surprised by it. I thought we played as a team. We did what we were supposed to do. We played together. We executed the game plan, and we were together as a team. I mean, we won games because of that. I think defensively we were a lot more disciplined on the second part of the season, and everybody contributed. I mean, that's about it. I mean, we didn't do anything special, but compete every night. Won a lot of games on the road. I think we did a great job of finishing the season strong at home. I think we got 14 or 15 games in a row at home, which that's the way it always should be. And besides that, I mean, I think we didn't do anything. I mean, of course, you got to be proud of winning 50 games, but you know, I expect so much out of this team that that right now it's not easy to at least not yet to be really positive. But I mean, of course, I'm positive, but and I'm proud. But I'm saying I always, you know, want more.
Back over to your left.
How difficult was it tonight for you guys to operate without Zach out there?
You know, of course, you're going to miss him at points because Zach is a go-to guy that always can go get you a bucket. But I think the team did a great job of executing without him and playing together as a team and moving the ball and sharing. And I think for the first couple of punches that we threw connect on the first half, and especially in the first quarter, and we stunned them. After that, I think they got up and swung back and got us pretty good. And the beginning of the third quarter was key for the game. We couldn't get a bucket. We couldn't get to the basket, and they made some shots. We made some turnovers, and they got easy points, and got a lead that we could never got back.
You guys seem to lock up the Thunder as well as any team in the league. You limit their offense. You really held them down in the first 5 games. What was it that you noticed differently that the Thunder did in the last 2 games? Was it just shots going in, or did they do something different schematically that helped them?
I mean, when shots go in, your offense looks a lot better.
Right.
And they did that. I mean, they took probably a little better shot. They turned the ball over a couple times too, but I think they're good. Main players took tough shots and made them. And a couple times that we overhelped, they burned us. At least they burned me. A couple times I tried to overhelp on Kevin and Westbrook. They found the open guy, which they weren't doing on the first couple games or the first 4 games. And they got to give them credit. They find a way out, and they did a good job.
Anything else?
Yeah, Mike, when Westbrook and Durant play like this, 22 or 34, how difficult are they to beat? I mean, don't you need one of those guys to be off?
Yeah, they're very difficult to beat when they're both hot. They're going to make take a majority of the shots, and when they're making all those shots, you have to give so much attention to them that they're able to make plays for other guys. They made plays for Ibaka, Kendrick, Karan. All those guys were getting good looks because you have to put so many guys on them and focus on them. So that's what great players do.
And back out on the arena floor, Brent Weber joins me. And Brent, I thought other than the first quarter where the Thunder got off to a pretty shaky start, they really got after beginning in that second quarter, and I thought that's where everything turned.
Well, Scott Brooks has always said if the offense is working, he'll live with the turnovers. They had 20, I think 7 in that first quarter alone. But Russell Westbrook was looking, and I think we may have seen a big change in this last couple of games, especially in Game 7 of this series. Russell, is not a natural point guard, and it's been his entire career here trying to morph into something special like a Dwayne Wade or a Magic Johnson, who's a lot bigger than Russell. But this was a very special game and a Game 7 moment. I was very impressed with the way they came out and played with joy as well.
Yeah, Russ with the triple-double, as we mentioned, and another big thing, the defense really just locked down Marc Gasol. He was 6 for 8 in the first quarter, scored 13 points. He had one basket, the rest of the game.
I almost felt sorry for Marc Gasol because Zach Randolph to help him out there. He's a tough player. He's a very difficult guy to defend. But both he and Mike Conley had very positive things to say about what the Thunder did. Let's give the Grizzlies some credit. They really, I think for 4 games, they played about as well, especially 3 games, played about as well as they've played, as good as anybody. I don't think they gave the rest of the league a blueprint, though, Randy. I think if you don't have Marc Gasol, Mike Conley, Tony Allen, all those guys Zach Randolph, if they're not buying in to play defense, you're not going to learn much from this because not everybody plays like the Grizzlies.
All right, thank goodness the Grizzlies are in the rearview mirror. It's on now to the semifinals, and really I heard somebody say tonight that the Thunder's biggest opponent might be themselves as to just how well they play moving forward against whomever.
When they shoot the ball like they did the last 2 games, and as Scott Brooks said in his post-game comments, and so did the coach for the Grizzlies, you know that a shooting team is not going to shoot in the 30s for a 7-game series. Once they began to get that confidence back, it really won't matter if Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant are playing the team basketball. They're playing matchup issues, sure, with both teams, but that is where the depth we talk about, the pieces the Thunder have, is so helpful for them no matter who they play.
All right. Brent Weber, I'm Randy Renner. We believe that the Thunder will practice tomorrow as they get ready for the Clippers. And also, of course, a word leaking out from ESPN tonight. Sources from ESPN say that Kevin Durant will, in fact, be named the MVP of the National Basketball Association at the beginning of next week. And we'll have full coverage of that as well right here on InsideThunder.com.